Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that of course is graphics card pricing. Now of course I'm being a little bit sarcastic when I say I like talking about graphics card pricing, because usually when you're doing that, especially lately, it's been just saying graphics cards are really expensive right now, don't buy them right now. But today's a little different because graphics cards have been coming down in pricing to the point where they're actually in some cases approaching their original MSRPs, and of course that's great for gamers especially who haven't been able to get their hands on graphics cards for quite a while. So let's turn around to the computer here and take a look at several different both Nvidia and AMD models, see where their pricing is, and see if it's time for you to click that buy button on some of these cards. Okay, so let's get started on the Nvidia side of things, and we'll just start with the higher end cards and work our way down. We have this MSI Gaming GTX 1080 Ti, and this is a pre-order. They're not currently in stock. It has it listed as back in stock on April 16th. So if you're willing to be a little bit patient and wait about a week for this order to come in and then get shipped, you can pay about $870, and this is a triple fan design on this MSI Duke graphics card. If you're not quite that patient and you need your graphics card now, you can actually get a Zotac GTX 1080 Ti on Newegg right now for right at $900. And these prices are not outrageously low. They are on sort of the low end of what 1080 Ti's are right now, at least in online stores. But you can expect to get a deal around in the 800s now, below the $900 price point. If you're paying over $900 for a GTX 1080 Ti right now, I would just hold off and wait for one to come back in stock. And I will go ahead and throw out there that nowinstock. I believe it's .net is a great website, and I'll leave a link in the description down below for that, as well as several of these graphics cards that I'm going over right now. Understand that prices will fluctuate a lot with graphics cards right now, and Now in Stock is a great way to just get an overview of what all different types of cards on Newegg, Amazon, and some other stores are priced at, as well as whether they're actually in stock right now. So moving on to the GTX 1080s that I have up here. GTX 1080s are actually a really good deal for gamers right now because they don't mine so well compared to a GTX 1070. I think that mostly has to do with the RAM type that they used. But GTX 1080s right now, you can get this one for $620, another triple fan design. Obviously, you need to make sure you have space in your case for a triple fan design like this. And then there's this MSI GTX 1080. This is a blower style card, and it's actually $570, brand new. And again, it's actually in stock right now, so you can go ahead and order that for the sub $600 price point, which again is much better than what these were even a month ago. So moving on to 1060s, I found that 1070 Ti's and 1070s are still pretty high. In fact, they're about as high as 1080s. So if you're a gamer, I would just recommend getting the 1080. It's a more powerful card anyways. So for the 1060s though, we have 6GB variants because the 6GB variants have just been quite a bit more expensive. And the MSRP for these cards is somewhere in the neighborhood originally of like $250, $260, somewhere in that neighborhood. So these cards are significantly cheaper than they have been though. So this EVGA, this is a one fan variant though, is $330 on Amazon, which is not a bad deal at all, especially considering they have been $500 or $600 recently. So moving on to this MSI, this is a dual fan design, again 6GB version, and actually on Amazon right now, you can get this card for $300. A GTX 1060 6GB version with a good cooler on it has not been seen at $300 in several months. So if you're in the market for this card, it's actually a really good price and not a bad time at all to buy the 1060s. And I did find a GTX 1050 Ti here that's just over $200. So the 1050 Ti's actually haven't come down in pricing as fast as I hoped they would. I recently saw one going for $180 as like a pre-order on Amazon, but it very quickly got its price raised back up to $220. So if you find a GTX 1050 Ti and that's sort of the price point that you're looking at, is that $200 range. If you find one for less than $200, it may be a decent time to jump on one. Still not great pricing for the 1050 Ti's though. So let's move over to the AMD side of things now. So for the Vega 64 64 cards, there's really not a whole lot out there for great value. In fact, I definitely wouldn't recommend buying an RX Vega 64 right now, considering its gaming performance is more like a 1080, and 1080s are way cheaper right now. But if you are dead set on an RX Vega 64, this Sapphire Nitro Plus version right now going for $800 on Newegg is about as cheap as I've seen any Vega 64s. And the benefit, of course, is that it has a very beefy cooler on it, because these Vega 64 cards do use a lot of juice and can get quite hot. Vega 56 cards are sort of in a similar vein as the 64. I wouldn't necessarily recommend buying these right now because they are still priced pretty high, especially compared to the Nvidia cards that game similarly to them. In fact, you can get GTX 1080s for cheaper than Vega 56s right now, so I would definitely go that route unless you have a specific reason for getting a Vega 56. But right now, one of the cheaper ones is $680. And AMD cards have been hit a little bit harder by mining, because mining is a little bit more efficient on them. So right now, we're still seeing the Vega cards coming back down in pricing, but I would totally wait on the Vega 56 and the 64. The RX cards on the AMD side are a little bit more compelling, though. Right now we have this MSI RX 580. This is an 8GB card, and you can get it brand new for $350, which is high compared to GTX 1060, because the 1060 games almost equivalently to the 580. But keep an eye on these 580s, because they are, like all the other graphics cards, they are coming down in price. And then we also have this 580 on Newegg if you prefer that site. Again, a beefy cooler, much beefier than the MSI version, actually, with the dual fan design here. Also $350. But again, sort of wait on these AMD cards. They are coming down in price just like the Nvidia ones. They just seem to be doing it a little bit slower and getting back close to their MSRPs. But graphics cards are definitely going down in price. And as always, when prices go down, this is great for consumers and people that are looking into buying a gaming PC or just upgrading an existing PC. So that's a quick overview of some of the graphics cards and their pricing attached to them. So let me know in the comments down below if you're planning on buying a graphics card in the near future, considering the prices are now coming down. And if so, which card are you gonna buy? And as always, if you like this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, and comment. All those things are helpful to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware. And as always, I'll let YouTube queue up a couple more videos from my channel for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.